So the only apologies we've got is from Cheska.
Who I gather isn't very well.
Yeah, she's not very well.
Okay, and we've got 40 minutes, haven't we? So we've got to pretty much whiz through things.
We do, yeah.
Right, what's first?
Any declarations of interest?
No.
No.
I kind of wonder whether I have a declaration of interest, seeing as that we're going to be discussing the purchase of a new laptop for me.
Well, only in terms of you not voting, and we're aware that it is for your use, but it's for your work use.
Yes.
If we're being clear, so I don't think really that's much of an interest.
Excellent, thank you.
Right, okay, let's crack on.
So questions from the public? So Mike, any questions?
No, not from me, thank you.
Thank you.
Fabulous, thank you.
Terry, can you hear us? Do you have any questions for us?
No, no questions.
Thank you. Okay, number 4, the website. So I sent to you a document called Website Migration Options.
Yeah.
Discussing 3 options we have to have our website migrated to be fully compliant with all of the accessibility requirements due on the 23rd of September. Now, you had already seen the quotation from TEEC in Newbury. We had an original query about the number of days it would take to migrate. He did come back and confirm that he quoted slight overkill, and he thinks, to be fair, it's going to be more like 5 days. So that has reduced the cost down to £1,100, which is still a lot of money.
Is
I did go back to him and say that, being an ex-computing teacher, I'm quite capable of building a website. Can we not self-build?
Yeah.
And he said, yes, in theory, but there would be some training I'd need to undertake on their own platform.
You see, this worries me straight away, that we're using his own platform rather than a kind of well-known CMS.
Okay.
Only because if it was a well-known CMS, then well-known CMSs get updated.
Okay.
So that's a concern for me. Yeah, I still think his costs are ridiculously high.
Yes. I mean, did you look at it in comparison to option 2, which is the Hugo Fox website, which is who Compton use?
Well, I do, but I don't like his option because we don't get an email option, which is ridiculous.
That's right.
That is utterly ridiculous, because any hosting package in Great Britain basically gives you an email option.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand.
What we're on.
Well, yeah, but that was equally rubbish. You know, and I've just literally looked up another one before I came here, called Parish Council websites.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you take a look?
I have seen them. Yeah, they sent an email. They've got bronze, silver, gold, and platinum.
Same sort of thing.
Mm.
But of course, interestingly, on all of them, they've got email.
So this Parish Council website lot, if we have the gold version,
yeah,
I think we get 5 emails. I think silver is 3 emails,
right.
But they're about £600.
Yeah,
as a basic package.
It's £469 basic, £649 the complete. Did we ever get as far as asking them about migration or not?
Not that lot, because they only emailed me back today.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone got any thoughts on this?
I don't understand computer, so.
Steve?
do people really use our website for anything? I mean, we're using Facebook and all that kind of stuff all the time, and that's what everyone seems to be using. So I don't know whether or not it's actually useful at all.
So the Facebook posts link to blogs on our website.
Ah, okay.
So when I submit a press release from West Berks or we do something, it goes on Facebook to say, click on this link to read this on our website. So we generate traffic. And then also, if I put on Facebook that we're having a meeting, the agenda is on our website. So people go to the website to see the agenda.
So it's all interlinked.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, what do other councils do or use?
So Compton use Hugo Fox, which are option 2.
Yeah.
And their website is really good. It's really annoying. It's got everything they want in a really nice, orderly fashion.
Okay.
What's your preference, Ben?
Sorry.
My preference would be to, as soon as we can, move away from what we're on now because it's dreadful.
Yeah.
As somebody, I'm on it for 2 hours a day. I'm updating this website using WordPress, which is not. It's designed for bloggers. It's not for businesses.
Yeah.
And you know, we're not a blogger, so it's not very handy for kind of a professional people.
But I think if we've got options which save you time and effort and it's more efficient, then that's the route that I would recommend that we go down.
Okay.
I think where I've got a couple of concerns. So obviously one is the email, and the other one historically is that, am I right in thinking that the clerk running Compton is the one who recommended the website we've currently got?
Yes.
Because that's
So-
Sarah Marshall, isn't it? Put that together.
Yeah, but my problem is that whatever Compton are doing, you know, we've come from a system that was put in under her recommendation, which doesn't work, and we've had all sorts of problems with. I'm very nervous of going to a system that's equally been recommended for Compton, based on whose recommendation.
Well, the Hugo Fox are a very well-known parish council website builder.
Right.
When I found out that they designed hers, I was surprised, considering she'd set up what we currently have.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the only thing about them, which is disappointing, is that it's a lot of money per month than what we would pay ordinarily. It's you know, I mean, okay, we've got free. We can have the bronze package.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know what else we need for that, really. I feel like we should go with Hugo Fox, but go bronze, which is free. So we don't pay any monthly cost to Hugo Fox, apart from the initial setup cost of £399. And then what we save on our monthly cost, why don't we give you each an email through Google, like we've done with the playground? And then, although that would increase, it would be offset by the fact we're not paying a hosting fee.
That's true.
It's been a long time since I've done anything website related, but I was convinced that you used to be able to buy a domain name that had a lot of email addresses on it. And then
the only difference we've got is this is a .gov URL. So
but you used to be there used to be Facebook help pages, didn't there, where you could list your Facebook posts and content on a web page, and if that's done automatically and linked, then Fen would only have to write events and posts in Facebook, and it would update the website. That could be a very low cost option and low maintenance, because Fen would only be creating events and content in one place, which is Facebook. I don't know whether they allow you to do that anymore. I'm talking about maybe 10 or so years ago. but it's definitely worth exploring as an option as to whether you can change your website and make it your Facebook feed as well. So if somebody doesn't want to sign up to Facebook, they can go to the website and see the content, or the, the URL and see the content, but it's only ever updated inside of Facebook. And Facebook will allow you to share files and all that kind of stuff as well. I mean, you are beholden to the platform, but the platform is free. And anybody that subscribes to the Facebook page for the parish council will get updates if they choose to follow, and they'll kind of get prompts when Fen posts stuff. Unlike if you just put content on the website, Fen, and don't link it to something on Facebook, you won't get the prompts. So I think most people are feeding information. If I'm thinking about discussions I've had, most people are receiving and pushing information to and from Facebook when they interact with the parish council. So it might make sense to think of something that's cheap on the website side, but and only allows you to do single content publishing on the Facebook platform.
Yeah, it's a tough one, because the problem we've got as well with that is the only reason we're doing this is to comply with the new legislation in terms of accessibility. Because at the moment, our website is non-compliant. It is a little bit, but it's not fully compliant. And our deadline is the 23rd of September. And all of these companies guarantee that their sites are fully compliant for all parish councils. And the new site they create for us will tick all of the boxes, and any future legislation updates we won't have to pay for. It comes as part of the package. So that's the concern, is making sure that we are meeting the new legislation.
Yeah, and it's not all about cost either, because we've been stung a number of times by this going wrong. We're running a bit short of time on this as well. So, Fen, you think the Hugo Fox option is the best option, yeah?
I just think from a usability and the way it looks and how people interact with it is a lot cleaner than the other options I've seen. And everything's just in quite a nice balanced order.
And if we did go for the bronze option, but for some reason felt we needed the silver option or something like that, can we upgrade?
Yes.
Okay. I see no reason, if you're confident, not to go with the bronze option. Anyone else?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
If you can upgrade, that's fine.
Yeah, so bronze would be free. We wouldn't pay anything. We'd have a website, hosting, online support, and membership to the hub. And to be honest, I could do other things, you know, that's in my remit, that's in the other.
Does that include the migration cost of sort of $399 or something?
No, so that's the initial setup cost. So we pay $399 and then nothing.
Yeah.
Which is better than £1,100 plus £10 a month.
Yeah.
Can we have a vote on that?
Yeah, I'm good.
So Tracy,
I'm happy with that.
Brendan, you happy?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Do you want me to set you each up an email account through the gov.uk?
If we can get one, I guess, yeah.
Because I've already got Recreation Playground, so I would just add the 5 of you. And then you have your own email account. But obviously, we're going to be spending about £30 a month with Google to cover that cost. Or do you not want to bother? You don't have to do it.
I'm all right with mine at the moment, but it was just normally, as I said, you normally do email with website hosting. So, but yeah, you can always come back to that.
For the Joe public, for the villagers, for anybody looking in any communication that we put out, that it is recognised that it's coming from us, and obviously the email address that comes back has parish council attached to it.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's cleaner, you know.
Yeah.
But also it
Yeah.
ticks all of our GDPR boxes because it
Okay.
keeps your council
Good.
business separate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Do you want to trial it? We'll see what the invoice is like at the end of the month, because we can always delete them if it's too expensive.
No,
Yeah.
because we're gonna advertise the addresses, aren't we? So I'd say there's no point trialing it. We'll just go for it.
Yeah.
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 Right,
We'll
email
just need-
addresses.
Yeah, we'll just need in the budget next year, Fen, to make sure we budget for it.
But we won't have the support costs with Joe at Hut 6 anymore. Phew.
Yeah, they've been brilliant, haven't they? Yeah.
Oh, they're absolute joy to work with. Highly recommended. Not.
Yeah.
Right, thank you.
Right, what's next? Because we've got to crack on, haven't we?
It's just if you need an update on coronavirus. I haven't got anything from our side of the hub apart from the fact the team have been absolutely amazing.
Yes.
We are currently looking after about 30 households in the village,
Which is
Oh,
brilliant.
wow.
and most people are kind of buddies now. So once they've started helping a particular person more than once, they've kind of budded up with them. So that person's now going directly to their buddy, which is freeing up the phone line for other new people to come through. And
Yeah.
they feel a lot more secure knowing that they've got the name of a person in the village that can go out and help them. So that's been brilliant.
So that's good news. And I saw that we're getting some hand sanitizer from Hawkridge, yeah?
Yeah, picking it up tomorrow.
Which is brilliant for the volunteers and anyone else who needs it. The only thing I know from the sort of hospital end of things is that things didn't end up as bad as they thought. They didn't ever get to their capacity currently. The only big worry, though, is that people aren't actually going to hospital when they should be. So attendance both at A&E and, more worryingly, cardiology and stroke is really down. And also they're very concerned about early diagnosis of cancer as well. Basically, people appear to be sitting on their symptoms. And certainly for cardiology, that's a really bad idea. It's a really bad idea for strokes as well. And it's not that great for cancer either. So one of the things we need to make sure that everyone is aware of is that if people aren't feeling well, or the volunteers come across folk who aren't feeling well, tell them to do the normal stuff. So if it's an emergency, 999, 111, or the GP, the hospitals have separated things out from COVID related to non-COVID related. So they've deliberately done this. They've moved oncology off-site, maternity is off-site. I don't think they've entirely set the dental hubs up as well as they'd hoped. But basically, if you've got a dental emergency, you ring your dentist and then you take advice from them, and they get you sorted. Anything else anyone wants to know on Corona, roughly?
No, I'm all right.
All good.
I've got one
Masks
thing.
is the only other thing that you don't have scientific advice to wear, but realistically, I haven't seen any bad advice for if people are going places with lots of folk. It doesn't necessarily protect you, but it does protect you from spreading it to anyone else.
I have got one thing that's come in from a company from Newbury today.
Yeah.
I'm going to share my screen so you can see it, okay? Right.
Wow.
Bear with me. So, oh, hang on. Right, can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, we've been offered this.
Wow.
Yeah. It's by a company in Newbury.
Yeah.
And they're kind of printed on the same things as estate agent boards are done.
Yeah.
Okay. And we can also, there is also a 2020, 20 seconds to wash your hands, 2 meters distance, 0 excuses.
Yeah.
And we can have them put underneath our village signs. And the costs are £35 for one, with some delivery, but they come pre-drilled with cable ties for us to attach them. So I just wondered if you wanted to proceed with that.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I think we'd need 2, wouldn't we, at both ends of the village?
Yeah.
Well, you've got 3, haven't you? Because you've got Abingdon Road, Fiddler's Lane, and Cow Lane as well, haven't you?
Forgot about our road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all up for it, seeing as MPs are getting 10 grand to work from home, so I'm up for it.
Okay, would you
What do we
just,
think?
I'm not fussed either way, but I will go with the majority. I mean, you know, we will be not staying at home in the next X number of weeks or months. So I don't see the value in it. I see a money option for the company, but I'll go with the majority.
I mean, I think had we seen this 4 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I'd have absolutely said yes. But I'm kind of hesitant, only in terms of, you know, the lockdown's likely to be over in 2 weeks in some form or other.
that's fine. So,
No, I'm.
It only came in today, so.
Yeah, I think they may have missed their trick.
Okay, so not going with the signs.
Unless you need to ask everyone vote-wise.
Can I
No.
show of hands?
No, it's fine.
We all
Okay.
say no, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's give it a miss. But then if the lockdown comes back, we'll be back onto them, yeah?
Perfect, thank you. Anything else on coronavirus? Oh, the meeting's going to end in 10 minutes. Ah.
Okay.
But what you can do is you can dial straight back in.
Okay, I think we'll have to, won't we? I think I'll stick it on Facebook, a new link, okay, as soon as we get kicked off.
Okay,
Okay.
let's crack on.
Right, grant applications. So, Pang Valley Flood Forum would like us to donate £100.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Anybody else? Are we all agreed that you're happy that we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, now the next one's a bit tricky.
Yes.
Okay, so this one is to support Sue Walsh with her East Ilsley and Compton Scrubs Up.
Yeah.
She needs help to buy fabric to make scrubs for the NHS.
Yeah.
Now we haven't got a value. She's currently raised, when I checked on the 15th of April, £545. I mean, in a perfect world, she'd like us to match it. I don't know if we can afford that. But the problem we've got is we don't have general power of competence, so we can't give money to Sue as an individual. It's illegal.
Right.
And Sue does not have a charity for us to give money to. So we're a bit stuck as to how we can help her legally.
Can we buy the fabric and gift it to her?
We can, because we can buy it ourselves and just put it on our through our books as fabric for scrubs. No one's going to question that, and give it to Sue.
What do we think, everyone?
Yeah, definitely.
What's Sue going to do with it? Sue's going to actually...
So Sue's got 18 sewers, cutters and sewers in the village that are making scrubs and scrub bags safely at home, and they're being delivered to NHS hospitals. So how much do I buy? How much
I'm wondering, because we always do have to be sort of vaguely prudent, whether we kind of go sort of 300 quid, so not necessarily the full lot, because equally we run the risk of the NHS is going to be inundated with this stuff in 4 weeks' time. However, in saying that, Royal Berks probably got as close as they would ever want to in running out of it today,
Oh, okay.
which is a bit worrying. Yeah, so what does everyone think?
Yeah, it's a good idea,
I'm
but
for
like
it, but
I don't
yeah.
Can she not get us a quote on how much the material is?
She has. Hang on, she sent it to me on WhatsApp. She can get it at wholesale price for I think 95p.
Right.
So it's from factories. The factory's currently closed for Jewish Passover. Here's the details. I have to confirm unit prices. It's not likely I'll be able to have it at 95p per metre. It's called eprafabrics.co.uk. She says she's going to call him. So she says 95p is very cheap. Many are paying £5.20 a metre.
Right.
And that's all I've heard from her so far. But I suppose.
And how many meters does it take to make what she's making?
I don't know.
Scrubs.
Okay.
This is an
It's
example of a mask, folks. This is one of
Okay.
Sue.
Okay.
Yeah, to be honest, you can use bed sheets. My mum's using bed sheets, either new or nearly new, and you can get those dirt cheap. She's made 500 already just out of bed sheets.
Wow.
I'll show you my mum's as well. This is what my mum's been making. She's just using bed sheets and pillowcases. And she used to work in the NHS for 40 years, so she knows the sort of stuff they need.
Right.
Brilliant.
It doesn't have to be complicated. Someone could go to a shop and just buy a load of bed sheets. Cheap and cheerful.
Yeah.
I don't know whether this is like scrub grade fabric. That's the query. So
Yeah, it
it's
might be
called-
different scrubs. These are just masks.
Well, it just says plain poly cotton.
That's pretty much bedsheet
That
material,
is
isn't
a
it?
bed sheet. Yeah.
Material, yeah.
So what do we want to do? I mean, I think we have to officially turn down the grant because we can't
Okay.
give her money
Fair enough.
as it's her on her own. But what can we do to support her?
Can we buy the bed sheets? Can we buy the bed sheets?
Yeah.
And give them to her. Because we'll get the bed sheets for dirt cheap effectively. So this £500 may turn into 80 quid, 90 quid, 100 quid, whatever. It's a question.
Oh, Brendan's frozen. Anyone else there?
Yeah, I think that's a good option. As I said, I do just wonder whether, if we're doing it this way, do we? It's difficult to know when we haven't got how much is she using in meters for because then you can go, well, that's going to make 20, 30, 40, 50. Because we, while I think supporting this is fantastic because there's no doubt that people need it. We equally don't want to be profligate either. So I wonder whether, we almost go set a budget of 200, 250, 300, whatever you want. And then just confirm that if we did go the bedsheet route, that would work. I mean, if it doesn't, then at 95p a metre, that's not bad either. It strikes me.
She doesn't seem to think she'd get that.
No, but even so, the problem we've got, and this is with a lot of applications we get, is we only get part of the information.
Yeah.
So we can't do the grant, we know that. But we could potentially buy some fabric, and whether the fabric is just pure on the roll fabric or whether it's the right caliber poly cotton.
Okay.
Blue or light
can
blue.
we agree on an amount that we would be willing to spend, and then I can find out from her what would, for example, £300 get her?
Yeah.
Yeah, good with that.
Everyone happy with that?
300?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Because if we have to pull that out of reserves, I'm happy to potentially pull that out of reserves because this is a 1 in 100 year event.
Yeah, of course.
So I think that's perfectly justifiable.
Okay, do you want the Pang Valley flood donation to come out of our flood EMR or out of reserves or out of our donation pot?
Flood thing, I would have thought, if we've got any left.
Yeah.
Well, we put aside some money to make donations this year, didn't we? Should we count? Well, I'll do it under donations because I think flood is going to be used up by the flood equipment.
Okay, yeah, fine, do that. We've got 1 minute 43.
Okay, should we end this meeting? I'll set up a new one and I'll ping it on Facebook and WhatsApp so you know the new code.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'll do that now.
Okay,
Cool.
cheers.
See you in a minute. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so are we all happy then that we spend £300 on fabric, and I'll contact Sue to get a quote of how much fabric that'll get her, and we'll buy it direct from the factory and then give it to Sue, yeah?
Could you also ask her if she's contacted Royal Berks Hospital as well?
Yeah.
Because much as though giving to any NHS is brilliant, you know, if it's going out of the area when Royal Berks need it, that seems a bit daft.
Yeah, okay. Right, that's that done. Right, new laptop. So I'm only requesting one because this poor thing is on its last legs. It's now started to burn up, and the fan is kicking out the most incredible amount of heat. So I'm just a bit scared that if it goes kaput, I've got nothing and everything's on it.
And Caroline sadly left because this seems like the ideal opportunity to utilise the councillor's grant.
Yes, which is fine, and I've given you the costings on that piece of paper. I had a chat with Ali Allen about the East Ilsley Trust Fund.
Yeah.
She doesn't think it's going to pass mustard with them.
No, I think this is one of those that it should come from precept or reserves because it's something you can't do your job without.
Yeah. But this certainly could be we could certainly get help with Caroline from this.
Yeah, which I think is a perfect solution because that way, if you get a decent computer, then your work is safer and quicker with a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
And again, I think one thing we've got to learn from this is we've got to start from next January amortising the replacement in 4 years' time.
Oh, I've just had a message from Ali. Sorry, Fen, the new laptop is not in our remit. So that's the trust fund out. Okay.
Having had a appalling experience with Curry's PC World, I wouldn't buy a Curry from them, let alone a laptop.
Okay.
And I had their aftercare package as well, and they were just shocking.
Okay. So
right, quick question from me. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You guys go ahead. I mean, if you need a new laptop, I mean, Tech's on the call. He's a technology man. He'll be able to advise on the best laptops. I've got to jump on another call, but I'll go with the majority again, whatever you decide. All right.
Fabulous, thanks.
Thanks.
Enjoy. See you later.
Bye. Okay, so Terry,
Tech's currently muted.
Yeah, Terry, are you there?
I am.
Yeah.
So, did you hear all of that conversation?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I've presented the councillors with 3 options for a laptop. We've got John Lewis, Curry's PC World, and a company called Laptops Direct. We're looking at 8 gig of RAM as a minimum, with a 256 gig solid state drive. We don't need DVD, CD, that kind of thing. We found a Dell laptop on John Lewis for £709, which comes with 2-year warranty.
Right, yeah.
Curry's PC World, similar spec, 449, which is currently discounted by £150, 1-year warranty. And then Laptops Direct, 777, same spec again, but 1-year warranty. So John Lewis is the middle of the road with 2-year warranty. And obviously we can do click, we can get that delivered, so no one's got to worry about going into a shop to get it. Have you got any thoughts?
Yeah, no, I usually do in the other end of IT, but you'd always go John Lewis because you get the extra warranty. The most, the bit that's a bit disturbing is when you said if your laptop blew up, you'd lose everything. Surely we should be looking at a sort of a OneDrive.
Oh, it is. It's on Google Drive. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's all right. That's good.
What I meant by that was I haven't got a tool to continue working.
Yeah, yeah. You just go for the warranty. They're all pretty much of a much.
Okay, thank you. Are you happy, guys, with the John Lewis version?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
so
we're gonna ask Caroline for the 50% grant thing as well. Yeah.
yeah, so it would cost us £354.50, and West Berkshire Council grant would pay the remaining 50%.
Which is brilliant. Fen, do you need any technical help in getting data across from yours to the new one?
No, that's in my remit. Thank you.
Okay. Fabulous. Next.
Excellent. Right, I've had a letter from West Berks Development and Planning Office about conservation area appraisals.
Okay.
So East Ilsley have been placed into phase 1 of conservation area project from October 2019 to July 2022. Now they don't give me any information, but what they want to do is to get a local community group up and running, which is obviously going to be really difficult now. But they have come to realise that residents have got specialist knowledge about what's in the village. And so they want to know, would we be interested in setting up a conservation area appraisal group made up of people in the village? It's a bit of a strange thing to ask now because we're in the middle of what we're in the middle of, but I do need to I've got a deadline to email this lady back to say whether we would be interested in doing that.
I think it depends on the people in the village, if people want to step forward and do it. So maybe put something on our Facebook page. Are people interested, and do they want to come forward and be on it? So otherwise it's a bit pointless. I think it's a good idea, but we need people in the village to say, yeah, I'll come do that.
Okay, would any of you be interested in being on that sort of working group, as it were?
No.
What is it now?
It is a group of people to gain a greater understanding of the history and development of local area, look at surroundings from a different perspective, identify local heritage assets, help steer development in a positive direction, responding to local characteristics and heritage assets through informed design, and highlight opportunities for change and environmental enhancement. I mean, it sounds something Caroline would do, but because it's part of the planning office, I'm guessing it's part of the whole local plan, isn't it? And how they want to do development in the future in areas of outstanding beauty.
Yeah.
Which is part of our household survey.
I mean, the two go together quite well because clearly, you know, in terms of what you would and wouldn't develop, what you would and wouldn't consider. My only concern is, you know, are we just doing the work of council?
Well, should we do what Stephen suggested then? Put a feeler out on Facebook, see if anybody would be interested in being in that group, and then letting them know if we're successful.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And then I can ask
again,
Caroline if she might lead it.
Yeah, because this is sort of the thing that almost morphs into what the History Society are up to, and you'd want to hope that they were vaguely interested in it as well, in terms of having some sort of input or feedback, because otherwise, you know, I think we're in danger with one or two groups and one or two things of things just dying on the vine. You know, so the History Society's done lots of stuff over about 25 years, but lots of people involved are cracking on a bit. And, you know, you always worry that stuff just gets lost. And who knows, maybe there's some new folk move to the village who'd be really interested. You know, we've got things like the pub changing hands. You've got all those pictures in there that, you know, are obviously relevant to the village in one way or another. And we've got to know that they don't just get binned or chucked in a skip.
Yeah.
At the very worst. But yeah, it's a shame the History Society isn't a bit more active, because you would hope they'd want to lead this sort of thing. But it might equally fit in with our village plan thing.
Okay, so shall we put the feelers out and see what we get?
Yeah, I would.
And take it from there. Okay. I've just got a few Clarky bits just to run through with you quickly, if that's all right.
Yeah.
So I found out today that our Trade UK card with Screwfix has been approved.
Woohoo!
So that will arrive in 10 working days, which means I can then order all of the flood equipment online for delivery.
Brilliant.
Which means we can then claim the VAT back. All right.
Brilliant.
So that's happened.
Excellent.
So she did say just to bear with them with the post, because obviously Royal Mail are absolutely swamped at the minute. So it may be a little bit longer than 10 days, but it's been approved. I've had another request to support the local electricity bill. Do you remember we discussed this last year?
No.
So it's going to Parliament on the 28th of April, and it's the right for local people to not have to buy from the six big companies, but start to source more locally produced energy. Something like 200 councils have signed up to it around the country. Is that something we would be interested in looking at further?
Well, no one around here sells local electricity, so.
No, we'd be stuffed, wouldn't we?
No, I can understand if you've got a big farm that's got a biogenerator, but Dyson aren't at that stage at the moment, and they don't have a plant there, so I can't think how it would work, really.
Do you want to have a look at his email?
Yeah, please.
I mean, microgeneration is where the whole electricity industry is going, because the efficiency of renewables has increased so much. But you've still got to basically have some kind of infrastructure to be able to do it. So, you know, if you know, Thames Water stuck their solar farm up by the pumping station. You know, if they hadn't have done that and we had that as an option, then great. But I'm not sure we do have that as an option.
Yeah, so they say so far 200 parish, town and community councils have resolved to support the bill, along with NAUC and 44 other national organisations. The bill will be backed by a cross-party group. Empower local communities to sell locally generated clean energy direct to local customers.
I mean, we just have to sign it. Depends what the ask is.
So this is the further below. Where's the resolution? Oh, here we go. East Ilsley Parish Council. aims to address the current situation whereby the very large financial setup and running costs involved in selling locally generated renewable energy is impossible. So there's a whole resolution. Shall I share this with you on email? We can think about it.
Yeah. Thanks, Terry.
Thanks, Terry.
Good day.
Cheers all. Have a good one.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Yeah, let's share it and have a look. When's the deadline? Oh, God, 28th of April. I don't think it's going to make any difference whether we support it or not. And
No.
We don't happen to have our own hydroelectric plant.
Okay. Do you, Stephen, Tracy, do you agree? Not really, are
Yeah.
there?
No, it's not. No.
Okay. Done that. Oh yeah, the other thing is street lighting upgrade. You know, our courtesy lights.
Yeah.
I've had a company say, are we interested in getting them upgraded to LEDs?
Potentially.
Do you want me to get a quote?
Yeah, the only big downside for me, which I don't know if everyone remembers, when the West Berkshire Council came and did the very few streetlights round here without asking, we ended up with football floodlights.
Yeah, we still got football floodlights.
Well, near you, because if you remember that one that's quite close to you, Tracy, it wasn't dim.
No.
When it was the old
It's
style, but now
yeah.
it is like a bloody football. So one of the things that's really annoyed me was they just put in something so bright. It's brilliant if you're in Newbury or Hungerford, but it's really not in keeping with the village. You know,
No.
why did they have to put in something so strong? Could have done with Caroline here, actually.
Sally's just got used to it now, but you know,
it is
bright.
incredibly bright, and the same with the one by the pond.
Yeah.
So what I wouldn't want to happen is the courtesy lights, create the same kind of thing. I'm happy to upgrade them to LEDs, but I think they should be kind of in keeping in terms of brightness. They are courtesy lights, not street lights.
Yeah, they're not floodlights, are they?
No.
No.
And do we know any more about Mike Spearing's old house and if that one's going to get turned on or?
No.
Because they're getting a check from you, and I haven't seen the light on in a very long time.
Who is it, Mike?
Well, no, I don't know who's living there.
No, it's not his house now. No.
No, I know, but it's the house behind the phone box and the bus stop.
Oh
Yeah.
no, they didn't get a check last year.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That's all right.
Because the house was empty for a year.
Right.
But it's now Amy. Amy lives there.
Could you ask her if she can chuck the light on, and then we'll send her a check?
Yeah.
Or get Graham or Keith to do the bulb. Keith replaced certainly the light outside Brendan's and the one outside Mrs. Moe, and they're now working, I think.
Okay. Does anyone know who's moved into Long Cottage now?
I don't know the names.
Because obviously they've got a courtesy light, and I need to write to them to say welcome. And did you know that you do this? Should I?
I don't think
because
it's
otherwise they'll.
working. I don't think that one's been working either.
Okay.
Shall I do a letter to everybody that has courtesy lights and say we hope you're still working. If you're new, this is what the job is.
This is what they're there for.
Yeah. If you need if you've got any problems with it, let us know and we can get Graham to fix it. Shall I do that?
Yeah.
Yes, that's a very good idea.
I don't know whether it's whether you guys know, but I upgraded my house lights outside, and I was looking for all sorts of fittings that turned on and off at night time. And I found on eBay an LED bulb, so just a light bulb that has the sensor in it that does dusk and dawn. So if you've got a fitting that can take one of these lamps, you could just screw LED ones in that've got the sensor. I think they were somewhere between £6 and £10 each, and it will just come on and off when it's dark. So you're not relying on people to turn them on and off. They leave them on, and when it's dusk, it'll come on, and in the morning they'll go off.
I know. Well, the current courtesy lights have got
Amazon.
a time meter that came out of George Stephenson's rocket.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely bulletproof. But ultimately, if they flick the switch off that takes the power to the light, which I think has happened in a couple of cases, you know, it's more about just making sure that whoever's in the house knows what it's for. And remember, we lost that one on the stable block when the stable block was done, because as you go up Church Hill, there used to be one right on the corner, because the corner's really dark, even though you've got the street light just around the corner. The actual corner is incredibly dark. I don't know if you see, it's really funny because I think that was a listed building, but somehow that got missed.
Okay.
Because it should have gone back on.
Yeah, I don't think Amy knows anything about it. So
I'm absolutely sure she doesn't. But I mean, it's quite good. Obviously, if the two things are happening where we're potentially upgrading them, and then we're just making sure we've got them either in the right place or that they work.
Yeah.
Like looking at the National Gallery.
Shall I? I'll park that then. That email from these people. We'll find out where the land lies with us, with our people at the minute,
and then
get them all working at least.
Yeah.
And then we could look at maybe in our 3-year plan, look at an upgrade.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll
Right,
get the prices, then we'll ask what Graham can do it for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last one from me then. Do you remember we were talking about buying 5 high-vis jackets and 20 vests for the responders?
Yes.
So obviously with COVID, there is a slight delay on materials and manufacturing. But the best quote is the £276.36 one, where we get to claim back £46 VAT. So if it's okay with you, I'll place that order. Brilliant. And go with it.
Can that come out of Caroline's allowance as well?
We can add it into our quote. We'll do laptop and workwear express, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we should only have to pay, we'll get 50% back off the laptop and 50% back off of these, yeah?
Perfect.
And they're going to be branded with our logo.
Wowza.
And East Ilsley Parish Council on the back.
I think we should have the superhero logo, and we should have Andrew on there with his picture. Seeing as you didn't want to be on the thing, Andrew.
No, I did want to be on that, but I haven't done anything. So, you know,
I thought because you had a hat on like me.
No, it was basically because everybody else has been actually doing stuff, and I haven't, because I'm kind of self-isolating, so I can't go and actually help people. So it just seemed a bit disingenuous to have me on it.
That's why
I thought you didn't like the picture, that was all.
No, I didn't mind the picture. It was just, as I said, the folk on there are actually doing stuff, and I haven't really done a great deal apart from talk about it.
Did you see that? Did you see that NAUC have included us in their latest coronavirus brochure?
I did sort of see something, which is brilliant. So well done, Fen.
Yeah, we've got, and also Rural England have cottoned on to our campaign, and the superheroes poster is going to be published on Rural England website and email as well.
Can you get us on Country File?
Yes, I'll do everything I can. That's it from me. Thank you.
Excellent.
Excellent.
We've got any last questions from Mike?
No, all good. Thank you very much.
Mike, and thanks very much for all the help you've given as well, as ever.
Problem.
And do thank all the actual superheroes who are picking stuff up, shopping, looking after folk. And I think the only other thing I'd just appeal to is, if there are any gaps with anything, you know, just because it isn't quite working, not so much through the group, but if people are coming across stuff, I think it's really important, Fen, it gets fed back to you, because of course we've now got a direct route back to the community hub, and the community hub is both West Berkshire Council and it's the clinical commissioning group. So if people are falling through because they're not in the shielded group, or they're not vulnerable, or and what we don't want to find is that someone didn't fit a box, got left behind. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't happen, but you know, you just never know. And I'd rather you're getting the information back that we may or may not have a problem than we kind of say, oh, they didn't fit the model.
Yeah.
Well, as the group has been working really well, Andrew. I think even before you joined it in the early days, there was ideas coming in from other areas and things as well. We were getting on them and saying, actually, that wouldn't be good to have the green and red sign in the window or whatever. There was a big feedback loop going on then, and it continues. The WhatsApp group is still very active, and there's loads of people contributing, which is great.
Well, as I said, you know, do officially pass on parish council thanks, because I think it's been tremendous.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Oh, so I did forget to mention, we actually have a vacancy. We should have 6.
Really?
Claire Ockwell has confirmed.
Oh, okay.
So we need to decide if we're going to have a virtual annual meeting. Because if we do, we can vote on a chairman, vote on a vice chairman, and co-opt a new councillor.
Now they've moved the deadlines back for all this, haven't they?
End of May now, isn't it? Between May and June or something. But yeah, we're fully allowed to do it virtually.
Well, I think we should. I mean, I think we probably should, because I'm still not sure I'm desperately going to want to turn up to a school hall full of people coughing at me.
Me too. Okay. Shall I find out how we might do it, and then we can come up with a proposal and find a date and start advertising?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
So we'll have an annual meeting, but we'll do it virtually, because we'll have fully paid up Zoom. I'm going to do that now.
Which equally makes that worthwhile, because if we can use that within the month, you know, we can potentially turn it off. We don't necessarily turn it straight on, Fen. Just make sure any activities we've got full within the month.
Okay.
There speaks someone who cancels software regularly after using 30 days of it.
Well, I wonder if they give me a 30-day trial first.
Oh, worth a try, especially as we're a you know, rural small parish council. You never know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they did lift the restrictions, so you can get unlimited Zoom if you're a school, for example. So I don't know whether they've done that for not-for-profits and charities. And the only thing that's just sprung to mind, Fen, is that I used to work for Dell a long time ago, and I'm convinced that they had a not-for-profit scheme where they took like 40% off the prices of laptops and stuff. But I don't know whether that's the same as going to Curry's or, you know, John Lewis or whatever and getting 40% off there, whether it works out financially. But there was definitely a scheme for not-for-profit, NHS, military, that kind of stuff, where they could get discounts.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, guys.
Okay, all done.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks you very much.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.